I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, car on the wrist, all in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that haters,
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Hard throw, incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Talley, he's going to air one. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Those INTs all sting when you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
We're going to work.
A gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Come on, 180. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Alert. Watch twitch. Watch. Hey, 18.
Trubisky gives to Cohen, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Red, come. Hey, Zoo. 54. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
On third down, Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run. This is Cohen. Able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On second down, it's Cohen, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they'll see what they can do on third and goal. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And his kick here is good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board. Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Tally. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal, Green Bay.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Tally. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And they bring this one back. A his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Throwing on first down. Tally. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. The 20. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Tally. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Going for the deep, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Motion, I got one. Mike 50, Mike 50. Set the tone, defense. Set it. Alert.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Tack McKinley. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
18. Lock in.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And that's now a 2-touchdown game as the Eagles have scored again. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's gone.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And, oh, it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The drive starts with a completion left side, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 2nd down now. It's Cohen, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check. Move. 54. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Come on,
Buzz. Mike's 54.
Trubisky will throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Now it's the backup Goff. This complete to Jones. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Out of the gun. Goff. He's got it. That's St. Brown. Touchdown Packers. Equanimeous St. Brown. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers get a score closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Move.
Get him and tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Here's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. This time they stay on the ground. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Slam. Whip. Ran, tough. We got it.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Hey, number 28, Mike, he's coming. He's alert. Hey, Echo.
Mike 28.
18. Watch twist.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Win the rep. Let's go, right here. Mike's 50. Alert.
Hey, Charlie.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
It's now 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Play action. It's gone. That is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. As his guys are in for 6. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Bears 19, Packers 16.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
22-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check, 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 check.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Check 26, check 26. Alert, 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 alert.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Tack McKinley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Now Jones. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about this all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Packers. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Play action. Now Trubisky. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Now Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Number 2. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on.
And an alley to run. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Goff. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. A shotgun snap for gone. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him 13 yards on the connection, but not enough. Fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on second down, Trubisky. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. So that'll back them up 5. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, they had done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. This is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific. but will it stand up if you start giving up big plays as we saw there?
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
He's 18. He's checking crack.
Now Trubisky to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, huh? Coming, baby, I'm coming, baby. Woo! You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be caught. A huge play there for Chicago. 49 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Now it's Trubisky, and this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
A gain of 16 yards. And a Packer 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3.